What's up, everybody? Alexander, the day trading champ, and today is a super important video, guys. The market will sell off by the end of today. Watch this, guys. I don't have a crystal ball, but I do have a serious understanding of charts and how the market works. All right, so with that being said, look at this. All right, have you noticed something lately? All right, the dollar kept getting devalued lately. All right, but why? Right? It was on hopes of stimulus, and trust me, don't leave the video. Trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to have a very good understanding of the market, all right? So if you're someone new and you lose attention in like 10 seconds, and then fine, bye. But if you actually want to understand, make sure you stick around, all right? This is going to make sense. Just give me a second, all right? I'm going to give you a good explanation, all right, why everything is coming together here. So, why was the dollar getting devalued here after broken uptrend, broke past simple moving average and everything? Guys, the reason it started getting devalued was on all these stimulus talks and stimulus hopes. All right, so they drag it down. Guess what? The simple moving average where we bounce off of just happens to what is the word, coincide or relate to the time of when Trump goes ahead on Twitter and says that stimulus hopes are over or whatever, right? So then obviously that's bad, or that's strong for the dollar, so the dollar spikes up, right? So it just happens to coincide with that exact time frame of hitting that SMA on the 4-hour chart. All right, so guys, it's kind of cool because you can see that even without seeing Trump's tweet, right, knowing that we could have bounced off the average and that it was already getting beat up so hard that the chances to continue breaking lower past this very strong level of the dollar of consolidation here, all right, without listening to Trump's tweet, you could have known that we had a high probability to break out higher here. All right, and that's where we got that market sell-off yesterday. All right, now notice with this market sell-off, all right, let's zoom in so you can see this. We sell off, and then what happens post-market? Well, then we start moving up. Why? Because Trump again tweets and talks about how now he wants to pass the stimulus bill if they send him like an executive sign thing, whatever. Alright, bullshit, it doesn't matter. The point is, he's pumping up the hopes for stimulus again. Alright, so that's exactly what we get here. But are you noticing something, guys? Every Fed meeting, every single time, Trump's tweeting, what is this? Every time it's an effort to keep the markets up, to give you hope for stimulus, right? But this just keeps happening and happening, and people really believe that the stimulus is coming here, but it's not, guys. And the dollar showed us this whenever it broke out higher a long time ago, the last week. Not last week, but the last weeks with this fucking chart load. Alright, so when it started getting devalued, it was on the hopes, but the whole reason it broke out here was because the hopes were over. Once again, they try to get your hopes up again, and that's what brings the dollar down. So it's just a consecutive efforts of saying like, hey, we're going to get this out, the hopes are getting up, but guess what, we come back down a trend, and let's zoom out to trend. All right, and the reason the charts are so accurate is because it's a direct representation of what's going on in the world and how actually prices are fluctuating because of it. All right, so now we're at the bottom of the trend where we're most likely to break out higher, and this coincides with the time now where the stimulus hopes are finally going to be over today after this Fed minutes come out, and people realize once again that nothing's changed most likely. All right, now the interpretation could be a little different, and people might think initially that it's good, and that's why we might spike up, but after that we would drop lower. You understand? Because nothing is going to be too significant in this Fed minutes most likely that's actually going to propel the markets up and continue to push the market up, and it just coincides with the downtrend, or I mean the uptrend on the dollar being at the bottom of the range with the highest probability to break out higher. All right, so when I say that we'll get a positive reaction, I don't mean a positive reaction in the dollar right away. What's going to happen most likely is the dollar is going to shoot down just a little, right? But it's going to hold its levels strongly, right, at the bottom of that trend. And when the market ramps up, that's when we'll get the reversal, and that can head us into a couple down days, or at least a very sharp sell-off today. All right, so you want to be ready for this. All right, and our go-to play on these Fed plays here is we wait at least 30 minutes to see the initial reaction to the Fed minutes. All right, so the announcement should be around 2 or 2:15, and then you're going to want to wait and see what the initial spike is. Is it up or down? All right, if it goes up, give it some time, wait till it tops out. All right, and do your best to pick that best entry, but usually you want to give it at least 30 to 45 minutes to really settle in, and then that's when you can be a lot more confident with your entry to reverse to the downside. All right, so this is where we went yesterday. All right, so it's very likely we revisit that after the stimulus hopes are over, once again here. All right, and it's not even stimulus hopes that's coming here. It's actually the Fed minutes, but like I said, it's going to be the same kind of reaction, and the fact that you're getting your hopes up and then only for them to come down. All right, so it's exactly how the market's going to react today. All right, we really kind of talked about it more about like what's actually going on in the world, but the truth is this is all showed and reflected in the charts, and it's just been accumulation of efforts to keep the markets up here. But once again, the outcome will be just as we point out to in this video. All right, so you got VIXN, right? Last important thing we need to go over. All right, we got VIXN at the bottom of its trend. Now VIXN is the Nasdaq volatility. Obviously that's for tech stocks. All right, so when you got VIXN at the bottom of its trend pretty much, or at least not able to break below, look at this 34 level, that's very unhealthy to have that high of a volatility on tech stocks. All right, so the sectors we can see get hit the hardest here would be tech, but overall, yes, you can get a large sell-off, overall in the market, right? But if you want to short, specific stocks, tech is definitely the sector to go with here. All right, on top of that, you got Biden winning the election soon, most likely, and that's obviously a very big negative for tech stocks. Okay, they're going to get taxed more, and all the other things that come with it. What does that mean also? If the Democrats are winning, guys, then they're also going to put way more money into alternative energy sources. All right, so that's also one of our negative catalysts for why oil prices will continue lower. All right, so we've put that oil trade on the channel. You can go back and watch our analysis for it. There's a lot of reasons to get into that trade. Like I said, anybody can get into it. Okay, but you can already see it's dropping like a rock today. And with that being said, that's a whole nother topic. Okay, the reason you came to this video was to see how's the market going to trade and what's going to happen after these Fed minutes. I gave you my prediction, and we're going to see how this all plays out. All right. Make sure you drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe and you have your notifications on so you're notified on market information like this. And I'm Alexander, the day trading champ. Oh, by the way, we're going to have a Reddit community down in the description if you want to go join it. It's completely to your advantage. It's completely free. All right, we post key levels, important stuff during the day that can only help you. All right, so with that being said, don't forget to subscribe and drop a like, and I will see you guys on the next video.